What is good, everyone, and welcome back to the Nostalgia for Social podcast. My name is Nostalgia. Joining me is As Told by Zoe. What's good, my guy?
What's up? What's up?
Hey,
What's
man.
up?
Excited to be back recording again after spending a pretty dope weekend. The two of us went to go see what the topic of this episode is going to be about. Across the Spider-Verse, that new Spider-Man movie. Man, oh man, that movie was it was amazing. We definitely get more into it as we go along, but since it's not really an anime related episode, but I still kind of wanted to get some thoughts off on some anime stuff. I know you haven't really been listening too much or watching too much anime as of late.
I'm so behind on everything.
But I mean, it's been a decent season. I've been pretty behind too, but I think like there's some shows that I'm still kind of keeping up with that kind of have still been going on since we went on our little hiatus. So there's other stuff. Hold on, real quick. Can you check your mic for me real quick? Because it sounds like it might be coming through your headphones again.
Does that sound bad?
Okay, no, you had the mic pretty far away. I thought it was doing the thing again where it was like next to your
My bad.
You're good. All right, so I guess for me, what I've been watching, I guess more frequently or just like keeping up with, is Vinland Saga and Hell's Paradise. I told you, you haven't watched too much of Hell's Paradise, have you?
No, but I started it though, and it's really good.
Yeah. Well, how many episodes you gotten in?
Only 2, but I really like them.
Okay. So I think episode 9 came out yesterday, or I guess at the time of recording, we're recording on a Sunday, so yesterday being Saturday, that was when the episode came out.
That's insane.
And I enjoyed it. I think it's just funny because I don't know if you saw, like, they have a clip on Twitter circulating about, like, I guess one of the bigger fights of the season so far. And it's like Gabimaru versus like one of the main like antagonists in the overarching story, if you can say that. I guess
I haven't seen the clip.
Okay, well, it's been circulating. I don't know if I guess you hadn't seen it, but it's been circulating around, and I guess it's like a thing that I kind of wanted to talk about when it came to, I guess, Mappa, or like people's expectations of Mappa when it comes to stuff like fights and stuff.
Oh, is it disappointing?
Not that it's disappointing. I enjoyed the fight. I thought it was great. I think It's funny how high of a standard people hold Mappa to. And I think in some ways it's very much justified, right? You get, you got Attack on Titan with crazy visuals. You got Chainsaw Man with crazy visuals. You got JJK with crazy visuals, right? And you take that little like dark trio thing that they talk about with JJK, Chainsaw Man, and then Hell's Paradise now being out. You would expect like crazy stuff going on, and I guess that's just not what Hell's Paradise is kind of on. I think in terms of just like overall quality of the show, it's definitely the weaker of the 3 that's come out so far. But I think some of the criticism in terms of like how it's portrayed is a little unfair, if that makes sense.
Do you think they just don't have like, they're not putting the budget in it because it's new?
I don't know. Well, you could say, I mean, I don't think it's relatively new. It came out relatively around the same time, like Chainsaw Man's still going on now, so you could technically say it's still new.
But I mean the anime.
Oh, I guess. I don't know, because when we saw like the visuals for like those early visuals for JJK and those early visuals for Chainsaw Man, like that was like, especially Chainsaw Man, like that was movie quality, like early visuals.
They also had a lot less on their plate
when they started those.
That's true. That is true. I think I don't know. I enjoy Hell's Paradise. I think it's still a good anime. I think it hasn't really missed on an episode yet. Like a lot of the the deaths and the crazy dramatic scenes are hit pretty well. I do think, like, obviously, like you're not going to get the fight that they're showing is like for 90% of it was really good. There were some times where like they had to like cut a little bit of corners with some of the like animation in the frames. There's some times where you could say, okay, well, I could see where they kind of like tried to cut corners here, or this part wasn't as well edited as some of the other parts in the fight. But for the most part, overarching, the fight was great. And I think the story itself is fine. I think like it's just people are always gonna hold Mappa to this crazy standard, which, you know, sometimes it could be fair. But like people kind of take it to the point where like it seems like they don't like the story anymore, or they don't like the anime that they're watching anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it gets to that kind of realm.
I do feel it's a very weird seeing people's takes on anime, because I feel like a lot of people, and I don't want to, if anyone listening to this, I don't want to, offend you, but sometimes it's like, if it doesn't scratch that part of your brain that says, ooh, pretty colors, they get like uninterested.
Man, no, because I literally saw something the other day. I think the Vinland Saga new seasonal slander is just not going to go away ever, because people just, I don't know. I think we had an episode on this where we were like, are we watching the same show?
Yeah,
because it's actually crazy. Someone was
that's another Mappa IP now.
Yes, it is. Well,
not only that, they're also animating for some fucking reason. Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill.
That's a Mappa title.
And now One Punch Man, and I feel like they're spreading themselves very thin.
Yeah. Well, I will say about the Vinland Saga thing though, like that, the Studio Wit did the first season of Vinland Saga.
Those guys over.
They brought that team over to do Vinland Saga for the second season. It's just that team is now under Mappa. If that makes sense. So yeah. So in some regards I can say, oh well, like it's still that Wit group that's doing it, just under a new like production company. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know who's doing Hell's Paradise. I do think it's good. As far as the story of Hell's Paradise goes, though, I really enjoy it. I will say though, like just in general, because I read the manga and finished it, the story is among the dark trio thing that they want to give it, is definitely the weaker of the three in terms of the story. And I think it's one thing where I think the story falls flat is that there's no real central antagonist, kind of.
Okay.
And I think because sometimes it works. Like there are some stories, I can't think of any top of my head, but I feel like there's some stories that, if they don't have any kind of like titular central antagonist, it still can work as a story. But for certain shonen titles and the way they're set up, you kind of need them.
Yeah.
Like JJK has Sukuna, right, as like a main antagonist kind of, or like that's like a driving force, especially for season 1. I'm not going to get into further along stuff, but there is like and even like, Geto is like a main titular enemy as well with the other stuff like that. And I'll get it, and like it gets a little bit deeper than that as you get further on in the story. And obviously you're anime only. I've been reading the manga since it came out, so it's a little bit different. Like there is a larger, more central antagonist that isn't Geto or Sukuna.
Sure.
But there's a central antagonist. You get to Chainsaw Man. There is a central antagonist.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say who it is, because again, you're anime only.
I know who it is.
Do you though?
I don't know what. I guess I'll try to keep it vague for other people.
Yeah.
I don't know what their motivations are right now.
Yeah.
But the way people on Twitter talk about this person, like, I know who it is.
Okay,
at least for the first part of the manga, which they're still animating.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, I was gonna
So
ask, are you reading Hell's Paradise?
I read it. I think it was a situation where I was reading. So I was reading the other story that came, like I forgot the mangaka's name, but they came out with a story that was on the Shonen Jump app called Ayashiman, and I was reading that for a little bit, and it was like, oh, their more popular work was called Hell's Paradise, yada yada yada, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool, so I checked it out and loved the story. I really enjoyed the story. It's one of my more favorite like manga I've read, but I do think when you compare it to what the general internet population likes to coin as the dark trio, it definitely is a weaker story among the three of them, because you don't have that main antagonist who you can like point to and say, okay, this is like a problem. Like obviously the world building and the setting you can make the argument is the central antagonist, like you send all these criminals out to this like dangerous landscape, the untapped island or undiscovered island that's very dangerous and people end up dying as a result of it. You can make that an essential antagonist, but I think the rest of the story falls flat when you don't have that main face you can point to say this person is a bad person. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, but back to Vinland Saga, right? So a tweet saying it was, it's a snooze fest, and I was like, oh, you haven't seen the last 3 episodes.
Which I'm not caught up either.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's just ways that, like, in the grand scheme of storytelling, there's always going to be arcs or situations or story beats where it's slower than the other ones.
Sure.
But I don't know, I think like this arc is important for, I guess, Thorfinn as a character.
Yeah.
I think like this season, I know you think you mentioned it with the topic we're going to get into later with like the Spider-Verse, right? How Spider-Verse 1 is, or Into the Spider-Verse is like a character study on Miles Morales as like a new Spider-Man, right? Season 2 of Vinland Saga is a character study on Thorfinn.
Yeah.
And the mangaka and the story itself has very heavy themes and conversations on pacifism and what it means to be a man, a warrior, and what pride does to people. That's the overarching like theme for most of it.
Yeah.
And I think it just kind of, because it doesn't scratch that part of your brain that goes, oh my god, fights, flashing colors, screaming, raging, it falls flat for people.
Yeah.
And I hate that, because like, I don't know, that's just my thing. I don't know, it's weird. I was thinking about this the other day. I kind of grew out of yelling and screaming anime.
I mean, sometimes you gotta have it. You gotta, do some push-ups in your room. You gotta put on a hype anime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of feel the same. It all goes back to the chicken tenders,
Yeah.
100%. It's the same people that like won't give a romance anime a shot, and if they do, it's because they're addicted to porn, and Marin Kitagawa is drawn like a 25-year-old woman,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't give something like the dancer a shot, because it's
that
ballet,
one, yeah,
which is also Mappa.
it is. I've seen some clips. It's not a bad show. It's pretty solid.
That's the thing. But people, I just feel like people who don't like Vinland Saga Season 2 wouldn't give it a shot. And I'm only saying this because, like, if we were talking about, like, American media, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But this is, it's pretty, it's kind of the norm to say that a lot of anime fans, at least a lot of anime fans online, are like have the brain of a child. I'm not pointing at anyone specifically. I'm not pointing at any of your mutuals. I'm just saying, like, the tweets that go viral are from people who are mentally children.
I think what's funny is most of my mutuals are much older than me.
Yeah.
So it's not, well, I won't say much older than me. I think both of us are about to be 26. I think most of my mutuals are in like that, like late 20s, early 30s stage. So they're kind of on the same wavelength as me.
Yeah.
Where, like, obviously, and you know, I enjoy watching My Hero Academia. I enjoy watching Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching shows like that. I just think that it's not something. It doesn't, like, it'll always scrap, like, check that box off for me, where it's like, oh, like the yelling and screaming and powers and that kind of stuff. It'll always check that box for me. But it's one of those things that I can't have it all the time. Can't have it all the time, and I gotta, you gotta learn to let some stuff go. Like, literally, I've seen the uptick in Naruto content on TikTok that I've seen in the past 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
has been insane. But that's solely because apparently they're making, like, new episodes and plus, like, new chapters on, like, a specific character. I think they had, like, a fan vote, and I think Minato, like Naruto's dad, is they're gonna do like not a one shot or like a few chapters, like, on like a side story for him, and I think they're gonna do some newer chapters or whatever, right? Which is fine,
sure, but,
like, oh my god, I don't get it. Like, that's the biggest thing. That's the I don't know. I grew out of watching Naruto, being invested in it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of grew out of that.
A lot of people feel that way.
And I don't want to sound like I'm being a pretentious prick. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, bro, the only anime I finished last season was Tomo-chan as a girl. Because I really wasn't, like...
Well, you finished it?
Yeah, and I liked it. It's cute. It's whatever. It's not great.
It's funny though. I like it.
It is. It's funny. It's funny and it's cute. Even though I love Nier and I love Trigun, I just wasn't feeling that kind of anime for a little bit.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Like, I'll say
I haven't even started Demon Slayer.
I mean, I've been seeing, like, the clips and stuff like that. You know what's funny? I
saw the movie.
It is the movie. The hype surrounding Demon Slayer, and it could just be I haven't been on Twitter as much, or just haven't been seeing the tweets or whatever. But the fanfare for this Demon Slayer season hasn't been that crazy.
I saw people were hyping up the first few episodes, but it's kind of died down. I saw a clip of Genya is his name, the guy with the scar on his face.
Yeah,
I saw him pull out a fucking sawed-off shotgun. That was kind of fire.
I will say, his story. Oh, go ahead.
The reason I saw that clip is because someone called it a Glock, and then someone quote retweeted it and said, "Not every gun is a Glock." You sheltered person.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, every time it's always going to be like a Glock or whatever. But I'll say, yeah, Genya and his brother's story is interesting. It's definitely, like, pulls on the heartstrings a little bit. It's definitely pretty fucked up. The scenes where, like, the Love Hashira does her cool thing. The Mist Hashira has a cool little thing. Tanjiro has a cool little moment. Like, all those are great. I just think that I just haven't seen as much fanfare for Demon Slayer as I've seen in the past, especially with, like, that past season with, what's his name? The Sound Hashira.
Oh my god, I
forgot
his name. Uzui Uzui.
Yeah, Uzui or whatever his name is, right?
I forgot his last name.
When he was on, when that season was airing, that was all I saw for the next like 3 months.
Yeah, same. You think just Tengen?
I mean, partially because
people
like
just liked him better than
I think they liked
Hashira?
him. Yeah, I think people enjoy the love Hashira. I think people just don't like.
Yeah, of course they do. They're addicted to porn.
Well, people like the sound Hashira. Like people were all talking about him though.
I know, but I don't. Well, I guess people were only joking about him too.
I guess I don't know. Is that like a weird like double standard when it comes to simping 2D characters? Or like
no, you know, I think it's valid. Honestly,
like you think it's an acceptable double standard?
Because how many times have you seen a I'm only talking in straights right now.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen a woman go overboard versus men going overboard on 2D characters?
Have you seen my mutuals? No. Okay. Whoa.
It's funny.
It's funny, but let me preface this for any of my mutuals that actually do listen to this podcast, just in case. Okay. Let me lay some groundwork here. There are people that I follow or people that I follow that like repost stuff from certain like accounts that get wild graphic, very graphic when it comes to their simping of 2D men. And I don't bat an eye. I don't say anything because, hey, that is what you do. That is cool, whatever. I don't care. I think it's funny sometimes. I do think it's kind of crazy how if somebody says something about Mirko, like a guy, then all of a sudden this guy's a fucking weirdo. And it's like, okay, hold on. It's like, hold on.
Okay, here's where it gets...
Here's where, you got to do a deep dive, nitty-gritty type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some women get crazy. Watching Spider-Verse, one of the friends we were watching with, she loved Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, I seen the tweet about him earlier.
Loved him. But it's just, you see a lot more men simp over like borderline lolly characters, and then the way they justify it is like, oh, it's because she's Asian. Oh, it's because she's 1,000 years old. Oh, it's because this and that, blah blah blah. When you call out a female, for the most part, because sure, there has to be a female that goes overboard like that, but usually when you call out a woman who's simping, she's just like, whatever. I mean, I think he's attractive.
Yeah, no, they be going crazy. It's just funny. I don't know. I guess the way in which they do it, in a way, is pretty funny. I don't know. It's a weird double standard. I think like it could potentially just be one of those acceptable ones, right? Like,
listen,
like it just
for the past 3 days, it's just the way you do it. Because for the past 3 days, me and you have been sending each other screenshots of Street Fighter.
Yeah. And
the crazy art and the crazy proportions of those women, but it's not like we're trying to justify it, or we're trying to like, we're not saying anything creepy. It's just we're having fun, which is what I assume your mutuals are doing for the most part.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not fucking I love Marin Kitagawa because she's a small Asian woman,
Yeah. I think it's mostly just all in good fun, and the the Street Fighter characters thing is actually insane. Like it's just nuts, bro. It's nuts.
I'm gonna say this right now because we're on the topic. Too little people talking about Manon. The new French character.
Oh yeah.
She once they announced her next to Marissa, I was like,
she looked pretty good. And then, okay, but I get it. So then you have stuff like speaking on Street Fighter, you have the people who modded what's her name.
There are Chun-Li mods, but there are also Kimberly mods.
Yes, the Kimberly mod, the one I showed you the other day. That's insane.
That's insane. You sending me the video is funny.
Yes.
Someone going out of their way to download that mod is it's borderline like, okay, you're weird. The person who made that mod
is a weirdo.
Is weird.
He's weird. 100%. Like, you literally modded Kimberly's whole character fit to be like a fucking micro Kini so she could fight. And like, look, bro, I think Kimberly's a great character, beautiful woman, but Lord Jesus, that's weird. That's weird.
God, yes, agreed.
That's super weird. And like, I guess we just probably won't see like women doing that for certain characters. I've seen women go feral for Toji Fushiguro. When he's gonna hop on screen in the second season of JJK, it's gonna get wicked on the timeline. But I don't think it would get to the point where it's, well, I don't know, because the amount of fan art I've seen lately of him is actually insane.
I saw girls go crazy. You see those Resident Evil 4 mods?
Oh yeah.
It's like, I do agree to an extent where a lot of people were complaining about like the shirtless Leon mods, and it's like, well, if you're gonna do the same thing to Ashley, like, let these people do it to Leon. Like, who cares?
Yeah, people do that. Ashley?
Yeah, man. Of course.
She's my least favorite character. I think this is because she's my least favorite character in any video game ever. But
she's a woman. That's it is.
I guess. I just don't think it's appealing because I think she's a terrible character. That's just the whole thing. But
I agree. Well, like, I mean, I like Resident Evil 4, and you know my stance. I'm like, if you don't like Ashley, you're just bad at the game. But also, like, same. Like, Ashley has never been top video game women for me. So for me to see so many people like make mods of her, and I don't know if in the Resident Evil community this is a joke or not, but when they do mod women in Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil in general, they make the proportions
nuts,
crazy.
Like, I've seen like the Ada Wong mods are actually insane.
The Jill Valentine for Resi 3.
Yep.
They did the same thing for Ashley, and listen, like I said, if you're gonna allow one, you gotta allow the other.
Yeah.
The people who made them, they're weird. I'm sorry.
Yeah. 1000%.
They're weird. Whether they're a male or a female.
Yeah, I just think it's just funny. It's like weird. Like, there's a lot more nuance involved to stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because then we talk about the Kimberly mod for Street Fighter, but then you get like the NSFW, Toji, Gojo, Ghetto fan art, and you're like literally the other day, it was like this girl made a fan art of her this might be too graphic for the podcast, of her of like this black girl getting absolutely just redacted by Ghetto and Gojo, and I was like, holy shit, ma'am.
So here's the thing, I guess this isn't a question towards her, because she probably doesn't care.
Yeah.
But for like other people, because I bet other people are like, oh, that's art, it doesn't matter. Well, I don't know, I shouldn't assume, but it's like nuance. To me, that's not so different than someone with no artistic talent seeking that out, like seeking out Rule 34.
I don't know. I feel like it's a lot more like nuance to it, and I think it's a double standard, because you look at my timeline and you look at the people that like simp over the 2D men, and again, for the second time, I've said it already. I said it on the front end. I'm saying on the back end now too. I don't care. I think it's funny. You can do whatever you want to do, right? You know what I'm saying? the Sim for 2D men thing, I think it's a funny thing. I think it's, you know, that's, if that's something you want to talk about on your timeline or your Twitter, you can do that 100%. I just think like it's funny when they when like somebody will bring up like a obviously a adult woman that's a 2D character, not like the Marins or anybody from class 1A from My Hero. Like I'm not doing that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if they're a grown woman. Like that stuff, I feel like as soon as a guy says something about that, like somebody will make a tweet about Midnight, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, you're a weirdo. And it's like, whoa. Whoa.
You see, if you're the type of person that talks about Gojo, and then you start calling other people weird, see, that's not right.
Yeah.
Because Midnight is drawn like that, dog. You can't, there's no way around it.
Yeah. I guess it's like if it's a situation where they are of age, because you know you get the weird.
I was just about to say, I think it also goes a little bit deeper because men or women get more of age men.
Yes, most of the characters that are of age, with the weird exception being Ichigo, because I feel like, because obviously Ichigo at this point in, I guess, our time, he's an adult.
I was about to say, how old is he?
He's an adult now, I guess, because like at the end of Thousand Year Blood War, there's a time skip where now they are now adults, and like there's a new like one shot that went out where it's like Otohime and Ichigo's kid, and both of them are adults. So like that's a weird, like, you know, whatever. But
sure, more
often than not, the 2D men that women get are more often than not of age.
Yeah.
As opposed to men getting women that are not of age.
And usually the more sexualized ones are the younger ones. Like,
which is terrible.
Marin.
Which is terrible.
There was no reason. Listen, I like the show.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I like the show. But there was no reason that they needed to give her so much detail.
That's true.
There was way too much detail whenever she was wearing a bikini. That shit was crazy.
Like, okay, but do you think they did it? Well, I feel like I'm being a little obtuse here, but it is somewhat of a not shonen type, but like it's probably a story geared more towards a younger audience. We just so happen to watch it as well, but even though we're 25.
There are grown-ass adults animating that.
Yes, 100%. That's why I'm saying it.
It was their choice.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, that was. I prefaced it with saying it was going to be an obtuse statement. I already prefaced that. So, but yeah, no, it's insane. Yeah, it's just. It's like if there's always like situations where most of the women in the 2D women that look heavily sexualized or like are attractive in shows could potentially be like 18 or 17, and it's like, or 14. It's like, what the fuck is going on? But then you get like the OG like sensei that are like 35.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck?
Dude, look at Fubuki and Tatsumaki. Like, yeah, Fubuki's hot, but like Tatsumaki is always in this weird position where one rip of her dress is covering. Like, she's put in more situations than than Fubuki.
Adult-looking sister.
Yeah, and Tatsumaki's older.
I think. I can't remember.
But she looks a lot younger. Like,
yeah, obviously she's like a bait character, and for some reason they put her in the weirdest situations, especially with Saitama, which is like, okay, but then you got Fubuki.
You've seen that?
Fubuki's right there.
I know, bro. Like, come on, man.
Fubuki's right there.
Fucking that panel of Saitama hugging her?
Yes, dude.
And it's like I haven't even read that panel, but it's like, come on, man. It's like, why you gotta put that detail there?
It's nuts. Yeah, I think it makes it way worse. It's like, it's supposed to be shonen for like young boys. So like obviously like young boys are gonna like it, but a grown man really drew that. That's like just that's a weird thing about this medium, man.
Yeah, it gets really messy because like Mitsuri, I guess I would assume is an adult.
The Love Hashira?
Yes.
I think.
But even if she's an adult, she's very like when it's time to fight, like she gets serious.
Yeah.
But for the most part, she's kind of like portrayed as not only free-spirited, but like kind of infantilized, and then it gets kind of weird,
kind of childish a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably gotta look that up. Just
like, cause like, in one of the first few episodes of the new arc, she runs to Tanjiro crying because someone didn't say hi to her. And it's like, an adult woman wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But luckily, and I'm so happy, that Tanjiro is like, please, your breasts are about to spill out.
Yeah, he closes
I was like, thank God.
Her up.
Thank God. Oh, she's 19. She's like right there.
Oh, but like, Lord.
Okay, so she's 19. How old is Tengen with 3 wives?
Is Tengen in his 20s?
He's 23. God damn. Okay, so they're all pretty young. Okay.
Decently. Okay, they're young, but they're of age. So it's like
because I was about to say, if she's 19 and Tengen's like 35, that's an issue.
Yeah, even so, like her being 19 is a little bit on the line.
Yeah. What's the butterfly girl's name?
I forgot her name.
Oh, wait.
But isn't she? Oh, I'm about to spoil the shit out of that. Hold on.
Relax.
I was about to spoil the shit. I'm about to spoil the shit out of that story. Hold on, never mind.
Oh, Tomioka's 19 too.
The butterfly Hashira or whatever her name is?
No, the water Hashira.
Oh yeah. I was about to spoil the shit out of Demon Slayer.
Shinobu. Butterfly. She's 18.
Like right on that line though. I was about to spoil the shit out of Demon Slayer. I'm not gonna do that.
This is another one. Nezuko's 12.
Don't even get me started on Nezuko.
And she's not when she's regular or even baby form, she's not sexualized.
Yes.
And when she grows up, she still isn't sexualized.
Yes.
But this goes back to this double standard thing. Guys get weird about it.
Oh, when she turns into a demon form?
So the first time she turns into like this full-grown demon, like obviously when women grow up, they grow breasts. That's just the way it is. And I think in the show or the manga, they're not really trying to sexualize her. They're just saying like her body like grows up.
Yeah.
But people see boobs and they immediately freak out.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, she's fighting right now. Can you like relax for a second?
Yeah. I think most of those takes come from people that haven't actually seen a woman in real life before.
That's exactly what I'm saying earlier, that sometimes for the most part the double standard should be accepted.
Because of the vast majority of men that, do the whole simping thing?
Yes.
I think if you've actually seen a woman in real life, you're allowed to have your opinion on attractive 2D women. But if you, I think is that the caveat we're putting on it?
Yeah, but then it's wow. This I did not expect to have a deep dive on this.
We didn't have much to talk about today, so
because like Berlizzi playing Danganronpa 2.
Yes.
I don't think it's weird that he always made comments about Akane.
About Chiaki or
Akane.
Akane, yeah. Well, Akane had some weird stuff where, like, she would get like wildly sexual in some of her voice lines.
Yes, but no, this isn't. This is still kind of the double standard because the way Berlizzi, he's making jokes. He's a comedian.
Yes,
he's not being weird. It's kind of the same thing as your mutuals. And yes, she happens to be in high school. We are grasping at straws here as straight men.
100%. Yeah, I thought it was most of the time he was making jokes and like, kind of overly exaggerating, like playing it up.
Yeah, of course.
Especially when it came to like when he was talking about like Chiaki or whatever, right?
Yeah, there's no there's no way he's done recording and then continues to be weird.
Yes.
Like it's
not
all
like
for the camera.
Yes. And then you get people on the other side of that where that one guy that has a whole room dedicated to Mizuno.
Which is on both spectrums. It's insane that you like a 2D character that much. And then if we're going to humor him...
Yes.
She was there for 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
And she's a bitch.
Oh, yeah, she's like a terrible person.
Like, if we're going to humor this man, you could have picked Junko, and I would have accepted that.
Facts. On the
story-wise, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, on the tip of like we're just like barring how weird it is, we're just gonna entertain the fact that okay, it's Junko, she's a weirdo, she's kind of crazy, she's a villain, but I understand, right? It's one of those things.
People like villains,
right? Most of my women mutuals on Twitter that simp for 2D men, it's more often than not a villain. So I'm not gonna, what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah.
But Mizuno literally is in the game for all of the first trial because she tries to get Makoto killed.
Yes.
Like, what the heck are we trying to do right here?
Yes. And I don't understand. That guy has... she is drawn in, I guess, 2 outfits.
Yes.
The school outfit and her pop star outfit because they had to show the backstory. He has so many outfits. I don't understand where he found them, where he gets them. I don't know if it's a bit or not.
I feel like it is because like if you look at his whole page, then like he does like the huge prints of people.
He did one of Ludwig.
Yeah, he has like the huge pic of like thing of Ludwig. He has like a bunch of other stuff, and I think it might just be a bit. Maybe.
But the whole second floor of his house, the wallpaper is just Mizuno. That is a commitment that is stronger than most marriages. That's insane.
No, it's
to
nuts.
me.
It's nuts.
It's at the point where if it is a bit, it's crazy. If it's not a bit, it's crazy.
Yes,
it's crazy.
I feel like if it's not a bit, he needs to be in a mental institution. Straight up.
If it's not a bit, then this full circle. It's weird, and more likely than not, men will do that. Women will not.
Yes. That's just. Oh, bruh. I think it's just funny how it's very. I do think this double standard is more nuanced, if anything. But I think it's one of those double standards that's probably more so accepted, if anything. I don't know why I brought that up today, but it was just like something that's been on my mind for a while. Like,
I have another topic on fan art like that. You know what? This is the fan episode. We're talking about fans today.
Yeah, we'll talk about Spider-Verse some other time.
You know what I don't like? Because now on Twitter, these people that I follow, the circles that I'm in, it's a lot of fan art.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets over the line, and I gotta scroll really fast because I'm in public. But for the most part, I can like appreciate it. I'm like, oh wow, that person has talent, and it's not over the top like weird fetishes. Like this is nice. I've been playing Zelda a lot. The reason why I woke up so late is because I fell asleep really late.
Playing Zelda, yeah, as one does.
And because Zelda's so famous, I've been seeing a lot of art, and I've been seeing a lot of happy art. I've been seeing a lot of sad art because the game is kind of sad. The type of art that pisses me off, is not even the gay Link. I don't care about Link. I have this whole theory of why people think Link is gay, and I'll get to that after. It is the art where Zelda enjoys being in the company of Ganondorf. I'm like,
huh?
I'm like, come on. Like, I get some people liking villains, but not a genocidal maniac who is like,
He's killed so many people.
it's not just Dobby who needs therapy. Like this guy, like Ganondorf needs the electric chair. He needs to be put down. And then you're drawing Zelda, who in this continuity is very like studious, very book smart, and also is like in love with Link, the way they portray her. You can't. I'm sorry. Headcanons, I'm mostly okay with them. I'm not okay with this, and I'm stating this right now.
You're not cool with the Ganondorf.
Same thing with Peach. I hate when people are like, "Oh, she's cheating on Mario." Let Mario have this. He's a blue collar working American. He deserves this.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I think, okay, it's just funny because I know I mentioned that like villains are what end up getting simped for the hardest. You would be so frustrated with.
No, they can simp for them. I don't care if they simp for them. Do not draw the main character's love interest with the villain. That pisses me off.
Okay, I'm about to say because you get situations where Ghetto is, you know, a murderer. He's technically a racist.
But see, like,
like people love him. They love
like,
him.
You know, all straight men love Shigo.
Yes.
See, I would talk to I would never draw Ron Stoppable talking
with
to
Shigo.
Shigo. That's the difference.
That's fair. I guess. I don't know, but I guess if it's not canon, right? Because you get situations where, you know, like Bruce Wayne or Batman and, you know, Selena Kyle or Catwoman or Poison Ivy or
that's
other
fire.
villains.
The stuff with Selena Kyle is kind of canon. It's just,
I think
it's this weird love back and forth where is she a good guy, is she a bad guy, and Bruce is like, the only time Bruce is a dumbass is with her. Like,
yeah,
that's that.
It's not head canon, it's like actual canon.
Yeah,
like there's certain like comic book stories that have that interest in there. You're just mad at like people making head canons of stuff that doesn't really happen.
It's also because in the comics, as of right now, well, I would think it's weird if Bruce got with Poison Ivy, but it's like he doesn't have someone, so like it's the whole cheating thing. What's it called? People have this in NTR. It's like a Japanese.
It's basically just like the Japanese version of cuckolding, essentially.
That's what gets me riled up. So like if the same thing happened with Marin obviously loves Gojo. Is his name also Gojo?
Yeah.
So if someone were to draw Gojo with the other girl,
who I know she's old, but she looks 12.
that would piss me off.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
But
That makes sense.
Batman is fucking Batman, so.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god,
get it,
look at what's happening in the Spider-Man comics.
though. Oh yeah.
Mary Jane was gone for 4 years in a different fucking dimension, but for Peter Parker, it wasn't 4 years. So when he saves her, she's into Paul. No one fucking likes Paul.
I feel like the writers of that issue just try to go out of their way to make Spider-Man the worst the worst character ever.
Like, I get Peter Parker is like, well, I don't know what he is in this continuity, but for the most part, he's poor. He is struggling to make his
Peter Parker side of his life work, and he's struggling balancing, having being a vigilante and shit.
Yeah.
Let him have a girlfriend. Just let him have one girlfriend.
Yeah.
And if it's not MJ, let him get with Black Cat or let him get with Gwen Stacy. Like, he's so caught up on MJ right now. But she has children with another man.
Yeah.
Let him be happy. He's a blue-collar working American.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually nuts. But I don't know. I think I don't think the double standards got to work if people aren't being super weird about stuff. That's really the biggest thing.
That was the main point of this.
Yeah, that's the main point. I think it was just funny. We didn't have it much. I mean, I know we were going to talk about Spider-Verse today, but I feel like it's a whole. We could say that for another time or whatever, because we're having a guest on next episodes. We could probably throw that in there if we need to.
And I'm watching Spider-Verse again.
Oh yeah, so you have the ability to, you have more of a
fire.
Yeah, you have more of a, I guess, a reference to talk about it. I might go back and watch the first movie before.
I was thinking
just so I can get a reference of what happened.
It's only on
Hulu, bro.
I thought they took it off of Netflix.
Yeah, and for some reason it's not on Disney. They have all the other Spider-Man movie, even Venom.
That's weird. But either way, I'll try to figure out a way to watch it. But the funny enough, talking about it with the simping thing, right? There was a girl on Twitter who literally tweeted this crazy tweet about Miguel O'Hara.
Oh no.
Unhinged isn't even the word to describe it. But she wrote it in Japanese. So
I saw it. You see, okay.
Is that a bit?
I think it is, but also not at the same time.
Because that is borderline. Okay, she's
It was
getting clowned
unhinged.
on. She's getting clowned on for the right reasons.
Yes.
Because that's crazy. I saw
nuts.
The first few sentences are like, I want him to stuff me, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, no, it gets, I think each word as you go along the sentence gets more unhinged.
Way worse.
It gets 10 times worse. And it's like, wow. It's like, what the fuck? No, it's actually insane. But I think it was even crazier that she put it in a different language. So when you click, you'd have to click on translate tweet to see what she actually said.
At that point, you gotta download Tinder. You gotta meet new people. You cannot. Miguel O'Hara is not real. He will not do that to you. And even if he was real, I think him reading that would deter him away from you because he's so depressed.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I was what's funny is I passed by the tweet the first time and didn't read it because I was like, oh, it's probably just somebody talking about the design of him and how he's looking at Miles, or whatever. And then I was like, oh, let's see what they said. And I was like, oh my god,
bro. What's worse is in that GIF, whatever that's paired with that tweet, he's like sizing up Gwen.
Oh no.
Oh, people are being weird about Gwen too.
That's a child.
No, not like that. Well,
but
well, I think it still applies.
Like how? In what way are they being weird?
People are transvestigating her.
Like they're assuming that she.
They're assuming she's trans, which, if that was the point of the writers, would not be weird. But I don't think it is. So now because people are like, look at her nose and look at her chest. It's like, okay, so you're saying real girls can't look like that?
Yeah.
It gets a little odd.
Like just because she might, I feel like this. I got to choose our words very carefully here, because again, this is a child. So child 2D character.
That's the biggest part. Yeah.
There's no, at least from what I watched in both movies, there's no indication or even kind of reference or mention, whether it be subtly or blatantly, that they would be. You know what I'm saying? That Gwen would be. So it's weird. You know what I'm saying?
It's weird. Again, if the writers put it in the movie that she is, fine. That's not the weird part. The weird part is people looking so deep into this. One, because they probably think it's a cartoon, it doesn't matter. Two, it's supposed to be a kid. That's weird. Three, you're kind of like, the words that this person was choosing could be hurtful to cis women who didn't, do anything. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It becomes a slippery slope where it's like, the stereotype is like everyone on Twitter is a liberal and this and that,
hold on one
blah,
second.
blah,
blah. But yeah, I think, I don't know, they would just have had to put the actual, like, they would have had to say something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think the only thing people could really go off of at all would be like the coloring when she's talking to her dad, or the coloring of the space that she occupies when she's in a room and stuff like that. You can do that, but at the same time, there has to be something that's said, or even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even subtly said.
Yeah. And
like,
if this is a case where the person that tweeted that is trans and is looking for like validation or like representation, I apologize. I don't mean to hurt any feelings, but also at the same time, you kind of gotta live in reality.
A little bit. I know that they have like the Protect Trans Kids flag in her room, and okay, yeah, like that's that's a little subtle nod to it, but that's for the most part it. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If for some reason in the next movie she comes on, she's like, oh yeah, I'm trans, then I'll eat my words. I'll eat my words. But at the moment, it's like, I'm sorry that there's not representation for you right now.
Yeah,
But you also gotta live in reality.
Yeah, like if it was said, fine. But if they say in the next movie, cool, whatever. But like if they haven't said anything in the first two, then I'm assuming that Gwen is a woman or a girl.
And also it's kind of like it's that thing where it's like, just because you're talking about some like a social justice thing, it's not problematic, or it's not like, because the thing is, I'm trying to choose my words.
Yes,
it isn't problematic that they're talking about this. It's just a little odd when that's just not the point of the movie.
Fair, yeah.
The point of the movie right now is Miles trying to figure out his place in the universe. That's basically what the movie boils down to.
Yes.
And yes, he has this thing with Gwen, and yes, there's like other people, but I find it so weird. And bro, the opposite side of the spectrum, I saw a clip today where someone was saying they paint Peter B. Parker as this bumbling dad, which is so weird because he's the only straight white male. So this is, you know, kind of weird if you think about it. It's like, how do you sit through that movie
And think about that.
and think about that?
Right. Like, there's nothing else that caught your eye in the movie?
It's like, oh, you're mad that Miles is black, Miguel O'Hara is Hispanic, Jessica Drew's black, Metro Boomin's in the movie,
Yeah.
Gwen Stacy has her hair shaved. Like, you're mad about that. Don't watch the fucking movie then.
It's that simple. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... I know not the full review of Spider-Verse that we thought we were going to get into, but just a little bit of it. The movie was phenomenal. We could probably talk about it next episode when we have our guest on. So yeah, do you have a song recommendation at all or anything?
Song rec. I have been listening to... Actually, after the movie, I started listening to the album again. It grew on me.
Soundtrack's good. Soundtrack's solid.
I like the song with Offset and JID. Danger.
Yeah.
It's kind of a vibe.
I don't think there'll ever be another song like Sunflower, but the soundtrack itself is pretty solid.
Agreed.
Like you gotta think, like, people were trying to say, oh, this song is gonna be bigger than this, or this song is gonna be like this. Sunflower went 16 or 18 times platinum. There's no way.
They also released it before the movie.
Yeah.
They didn't release a single for this movie.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a few songs on there that I like, but none of them are gonna get to Sunflower. The song is also good. The Sunflower is also a good song.
I still listen to it
on its own.
I still listen to it every time. If it pops up on shuffle, I'm like, okay.
100%. I guess for me, Kenny Mason dropped a single called Dracula. Song's hard.
Right, download that right now.
And then I'm excited for Jungle's new album, Volcano. Their song Dominoes is just amazing, and their visual for it's really cool. It looks like it's like a dance scene, but it looks like it's done all in one take because the way the camera's like swinging around the room. It's pretty cool. But yeah, those are only two like songs that I have for you guys. So yeah, I think I got somewhere to be in like 25 minutes, so I'm probably gonna have to get up off the call. So that's been all from us. We'll see you guys next time. I've been Nostalgia. Aso by Zo. Peace.